All right, everybody. Welcome back. Another edition of Late Night Base. I am your host, your friend, Buildable. Back at it another day, another dollar. It's Wednesday. Man, I got a little cough, man. When you have toddler kids, they are a magnet for sickness. A magnet, I tell you. Jesus. Everything they get, I get. So I don't feel the best. But the show must go on. I repeat, everybody, the show must go on Monday through Thursday. We are live every single day. This time it's 11 a.m. PST, sometimes 12 p.m. PST. In a couple weeks, we're going to go back to 12. But our goal is to bring distribution to builders straight up. We want to highlight the best and brightest builders across all chains, even outside of crypto. If you're building AI apps, tech, or on chain, we want to talk to you. So bear with me with the cough. But of course, before we begin, today's episode and the whole month of May or June is brought to you by Send, peer-to-peer money globally, transferred globally across the world with privacy features built in. Download the Send app today. Let's send it. All right. So today's show is going to be interesting. So again, I want people to know something too, because I do showcase a lot of AI projects. This one's interesting because it's Solana. And I haven't really talked to a lot of Solana projects. It's a lower market cap. And I typically have a hard rule that I do not focus on any projects sub a certain amount of market cap just for sake. So very, very, like I said, nothing I say is financial advice. But for them, I wanted to bring on because I want to have some exposure to Solana and kind of understand why people go on Solana versus Base. I think it'd be an interesting discussion. Obviously, see what they're doing, privacy as well. So FHESTATE will be on. We also have Ibu. He's a returning guest on the show, and he's building Lolo. And I had him on last month, or maybe the month before. I don't know, when I first started this. And he was really interesting because he's the life of a solo founder. And just to see the evolution as from idea to from idea to progression. And I think he got accepted to some accelerator. And now he had over like 3,000, 4,000 users when he just had an idea 2 months ago, or maybe earlier this year. And just to see that progression, I think it's a really interesting story. And I think a lot of people can find and learn a lot about that. So we're going to bring him on. But again, I want people to know two things. Number one, and also, bro, shout out to the arena, the family on AVAX. We love the AVAX community. Again, this is multi-chain show. We're all over the place, and AVAX is great, and it's such a sleeping giant in my opinion. I like the arena. I like the comments there. It's always active. So shout out to each and every one of you on the AVAX community. And I'll be featuring a lot more of the AVAX projects on my show. All right. So one last thing before we bring up FHESTATE is I guess a lot of people are seeing like, there's AI projects and I feature them, but like my show is not just about agentic agents. Yes, it's cool and I like it and I find it interesting, but it's about all things apps, tech, on chain. I'm not sponsored by Banker, so there's a lot of Banker projects in my DMs who want to come on. Just understand that like I definitely want to speak to a lot of people, but not everyone's going to come on the show. And I'm also not a low cap like gem show. I think some people have thought like, oh, you're in the trenches. Here's a market cap project, like shill it. That's not how I would do it. Like I like projects that are doing interesting things that happen to have a token. That's great. But again, This is not just a low cap gem hunter show. Although a lot of the projects I do have that aspect. So keep that in mind. We bring it all though. Low caps, no tokens, some of the best builders in the game, KOLs, whatever. We do it in late night on base. Anyways, without further ado though, let's bring up the FHESTATE team. How are you doing, Mark? Mark, you're on mute.
Hello, I am audible.
You are loud and clear, sir. How are we doing today?
I am good. What's working?
Cool, man. Cool. Well, nice to meet you. So, welcome to Late Night on Base. Like I said, I'm interested to know the Solana version. You guys have chosen to be on Solana, so I think it's an interesting discussion. Your market cap is actually much lower than I typically allow. So again, everyone, this is nothing. I'm not here to show anything, nothing of that nature. But I think it's interesting. You have an interesting product, and you're building on Solana, so make an interesting conversation. So why don't you just begin, Mark? Tell me, what is FHESTATE?
Yes, so FH State is basically a privacy focused technology built on Solana that lets AI agents and application process private data without ever revealing it publicly, which means user can encrypt their data without writing their browser, and then special off chain nodes do the computations on the encrypted data blindly, meaning that they will never see the actual data.
Gotcha. And so what is, yesterday we had a privacy focused team on. You guys are privacy focused. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Why is privacy such an important thing in your opinion that you needed to build something like FHESTATE?
Privacy is super important because in today's world, so much of our personal data is there and often get exposed or misused without even us knowing. And when even you are dealing with any AI or any blockchain, a lot of sensitive information is can be involved, like financial details, personal identity, or any other private decisions. Without strong privacy, user lose control on their own data, which can lead to risk like these things. So with FHE state, we wanted to create a way where people can still benefit from powerful AI and decentralized apps, but keep their data completely private and secure.
Gotcha. Okay. Obviously, privacy is a very important topic. Like I said yesterday, we brought on a
Yes.
team that's VeilNet's bringing it on, and they're choosing to build on base. And by the way, shout out to Ethan from Send. Let's send it, baby. This episode again is brought to you by Send. Basically, you peer-to-peer transfers across the world instantly. Ethan, I basically show you guys all the time because I love Send. Send it, baby. All right, but let me ask you this question, and it's important for me to understand. So obviously, you've chosen to build on Solana. Yet Base has improved itself as the agentic economy, the agentic narrative with Banker. Why did you build on Solana? I really want to know.
Yeah, that's a great question. We chose Solana because it's fastest and more scalable blockchain in Web3 right now, which is super important for delivering a smooth user experience. Solana offers really low fees and super quick transaction finality, so users don't have to wait or pay a lot by interacting with privacy features. Now
But
Solana was
let me ask you this though, because obviously Solana is a different type of investor. Do you see the type of people that are looking at Solana projects, investors, have a less of a long term time frame than say a base? I mean, obviously your project is, it recently hit traction and it picked up, but obviously it's selling down. But do you contribute that to maybe the Solana lack of willingness to hold? Does that concern you as a project founder?
Can you please rephrase this?
Solana is clearly a chain that doesn't hold on to AI projects. Your chart has proven that it took a long time to hit. It found some success, but it's sold off. So my question to you is, as a founder, are you worried that the type of people on Solana are not willing to hold on to great technology projects like FHE State versus Base? They have more of a longer term outlook. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, every blockchain community has its own vibe and investor mindset. Solana community is known for its very active and fast moving, which sometimes mean people trade or move quickly. But that doesn't necessarily mean they don't believe in long term projects. We can see many other projects also which are running on Solana. It's just the way market and culture have evolved around Solana.
Have you interesting. So have you spoken at all with anyone in the Solana infrastructure? Like I said, I think this is a very interesting conversation. Not only because you guys are building privacy features, but you guys have chosen Solana. And like I said, on Late Night on Base, we don't just talk about the projects and chill it. We talk about the team behind it, their reasons behind building certain things, why different blockchains. So I think you bring great perspective. So what has kind of been some of the support, if any, that you've received from maybe the Solana Foundation or the community?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Okay, so basically, no worries, man. What I was trying to say is, what has been some of your, I guess, experiences with the Solana community and the foundation? Have you been receiving support? Again, Solana and Base is a very interesting conversation to me as to where a builder should build. Have you found that you've been going at this alone on Solana, or have you seen other teams, foundation members willing to help FHE State?
From my experience, the Solana community and foundation have quite supportive in different ways. The community is very passionate and active, which help with feedback and spreading the word about FHE State. The foundation has also provided some resources and guidance, especially around technical challenges and ecosystem connections.
Okay. I like it. Brief and to the point, baby. Let's go. Let me ask you this, Mark. What made you want to build FHE State? What's your experience been building some sort of, have you built before in crypto? Why? What's your experience in privacy related matters? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I'm happy to share that. I wanted to build FHE State because I saw a big need for better privacy solutions in Web3. Privacy is super important, but it's often overlooked or hard to do well, especially with the kind of data users share on blockchains. My background includes working in crypto for a while, focusing on building secure and privacy preserving technologies. And I've been really interested in FHE because it allows computations on encrypted data without exposing data itself, which is a game changer for privacy. So with FHE state, I wanted to bring that advanced tech into the blockchain space in a way that's scalable and user friendly. It's been a challenging but exciting journey, and I'm passionate about making privacy accessible for everyone in Web3.
I like it. I like it. What's, I guess, next for FHE State? How do you plan? So I'm curious to know. Obviously, you're a lower cap project. You haven't really established traction on Solana yet, but one thing I do applaud you for is you've been building for about 3 months, and a lot of projects have died off by now, but you keep pushing. What do you, how do you plan on building a community on Solana? Would be my question to you.
Yeah, we have been working hard for around 3 months now, and even though we are still early and building traction, we are really committed to pushing forward our roadmap and structured into phases. We just finished our phase 4 this Monday, where we proved our confidential agent execution on Solana DevNet. And right now we are in phase 5, which is all about scaling our confidential agent network. Basically, a group of fleet of encrypted agents and building tools so developer can easily deploy private agents. After that, phase will focus on full smart contract edits on, and launching bounty programs and finally deploying FHESTATE on Solana mainnet. So developers can build with real assets.
All right. All right. So I guess now a couple more questions and we got to wrap it up. And again, I need at least 2,000 viewers on this. This episode has not been getting the numbers. Come on, baby. What's what? Is it because Bill does not needs a haircut? Is that what it is? Get those numbers up. Come on. I still have faith we'll get at least 2K per show. We're not there yet, but people need to wake up. Bear market or not, we still building. All right, FHE let me ask you this. What features are you most excited about that you're building?
Please rephrase this.
What features that you've built is the most exciting to you for FHE State? Are you there, my friend?
Hello. Hello.
Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm excited for the phase 6, which is basically deploying all the things on the Solana mainnet. That time we can build the real apps and everything on mainnet, which can be used by every users.
Okay. All right. Well, my friend, listen, we got to wrap our segment up. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience about FHE State?
Hello.
Yes. Mark, any last words you'd have for the community about FHE State or anything in general that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yes, I want to share some of our features.
Please do. Please give us
The,
your last words. What would you like to tell the community about the features?
yes, the trenches will be most excited about our live agent fleet and sandbox on the utility app, which is basically the phase 5 of our roadmap. Developers and users don't hear about the theoretical white papers. They wanted to see their live tech that works today. In app, we can interact with the active agents like Sentinel, which handle private voting and encrypted price signals. The auditor, which compiles compliances scans, and the coordinator agent, with link and route execution intents. A user can easily connect their wallet, run a confidential Sentinel bot, watch the browser engine generate the ciphertext, and get a transaction receipt anchored on Solana DevNet.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, I think that's interesting. I think, listen, like I said, one of the best attributes from what I've seen about you is you've been building for many, many, many months. You're not concerned with the price, which is good. Eventually that should come. Just keep shipping, keep developing. And I'm sure you'll find the community on Solana that appreciates FHE State. My friend, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. That was Mark from FHE State. All right. I really think it's an interesting discussion as to why a project builds on Solana versus Base. I feel that at least with Base, you get the banker community, and you get everyone who supports banker will eventually support you in a way, and you get fees. I don't know what the fees are like for a AI project. Probably should have asked that. If you're building on Solana, do they have a feature where you're also getting fees, or is it just like a pump fund token? I don't know how that works. I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see how that. I think there is like a banker type launch pad on Solana from what I've heard. I think Squire is like one of the tokens about it. I don't know too much about it, but like I said, late night base, you're curious. We are curious minds across the entire chain, not just on base, baby. So, anyways, good to know. Good to know. All right, we're gonna pause a little bit. Actually, let's see what's on the market. Next guest is gonna be fun. It's Ibu, and I think it's gonna be really interesting to talk to him about like I said, the success of a founder, and I think the journey is a big story, and he's progressing. Like I said, overnight success does not happen, but literally, where the hell is everybody? Only 75 people. Damn, we had 3K last night, bruv. You know what I think it is? Everyone thinks I'm on at noon, and then these earlier shows, no one really shows up. I get it. I do need to probably start going back to the noon show. I thought like, hey, maybe like I'll start a little earlier. Nah, fam, I gotta at least start a little bit later. So listen, maybe our streak's gonna be done at 2K, but all good. All good. Other than that, I think we'll wait on. Let's see what's going on in the markets. All right, let's see. I know everyone's complaining about Bitcoin, obviously, but it's so strange to me that, let's see. Yeah, everyone's complaining about Bitcoin 65712. It literally looks like complete shit, let's be honest. But what's interesting to me is alts really haven't been crushed except for ETH. ETH is terrible. We all know that. I mean, Bitcoin has to do something. But you look at things like Zcash is close to 600, looking good. Canton Chain, I know it's a big a big thing with the Zen community. Canton's looking really good. And then you got Hype. Hype is like the baby, the baby child of all the crypto. Everyone loves this coin. And I don't understand why. Maybe it's because I just don't understand the ecosystem. But what exactly is Hyperliquid? Is it like its own blockchain that people can build on top of? I genuinely would like to know. I don't know. I do not know the answer to that one. I think like there is obviously the perps aspect, but is that the reason why the chart looks like this? I mean, this chart looks phenomenal. Really, it really looks really, really good. It's a consensus trade, and I mean, it's broken its all-time high in September 2025. So we're in price discovery right now. So very interesting to see that the strength of this versus Bitcoin is undeniable, really. But yeah, if anyone knows exactly what is Hyperliquid even about, like what makes them, so highly thought of, I'd be genuinely curious to know that. I don't know. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to just put a quick pause and we'll wait a couple minutes for Ibu. But without being said, first a message from our sponsor, Send.
Aphrodite, Ventusca, Osteonisus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Ephasos, Ashalalala, Susus, Minerva, Ecobibus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventusca, Osteonisus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus.
Let's Send it, baby. Download it in your iOS store today. It's peer-to-peer cash. You can transfer it all across the world with privacy features built in. And it is a really cool brand, really on point. The Send team absolutely gets design. And that's actually one of the things too, when you're in the crypto space, it's not as hard anymore to build the product, but distribution matters. So does design. You can't really have AI. I mean, AI can somewhat generate design, I guess you could say, but I think having a level of what's the word I'm trying to say? Having a level of professionalism yet culture behind it is something only the human eye can tell. So Send has really been doing a great job of creating a wallet and a user experience that makes you want to stay on chain and on the app. So shout out to the Send team. We'll be waiting for Ibu in a couple minutes. But yeah, anyways, hype is going crazy. What else is interesting in the news? I mean, this market's so boring. I do not even remember a time when it's boring. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how anyone like day trades crypto. I really have no idea. It is something that I think would be insanely hard to do. So shout out to all my traders in the trenches. You guys are crushing it. I don't know how you guys do it. I guess it's a PvP environment, unfortunately. And I guess it would just have to be, there has to be a true alt season at some point. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I do feel that needs to come down. Again, shout out to the AVAX community. Chat's a little less active there today. Eric, good day from NYC. Good day to you, sir. To Max, hello. Hello, Raju. Hi, bro. Hi, my friend. I'm excited again to feature a lot more AVAX projects. I do feel that community is prime for expansion. And I think shining the light of builders out there are going to be very, very important. There's an opportunity. I think AVAX has the opportunity to show projects in a way no other chain does. And I think that's going to make the builders feel appreciated. And then what happens is they build interesting, great projects. Then traders are going to come and want to use the chain. That's just how it works. So I'll do my part. And who knows, maybe late night on AVAX will be a thing. I've thought about that too. I've actually thought about different things like, hey, what if late night on base is actually multiple shows across multiple chains through a conglomerate? Your mind starts racing, bro. Your mind starts racing. We'll see. We'll see. But until now, they still come on this show. Shout out to the 450 plus people tuning in. It's funny now that's 11:30. Maybe people are now figuring out my show is on. Interesting. And it's always a risk though, bringing on a project like FHESTATE. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was thrown off by, the issues. I mean, the audio wasn't necessarily the best, but the man tries, and you got to hand it to him. Low cap or not, the man tries, and I do think that's the name of the game. It's hard. It's hard though to get attention. It is hard as hell to get attention in this space. Let's go. Before we bring on Ibu, the other thing I've been following is the Spencer Pratt election. Spencer Pratt is close to advancing officially. I'm a LA native, so obviously that race is pretty important to me. So I've been like a maniac last night. I was just like, all right, like Spencer Pratt, let's see how he did. So Karen Bass got number one. I think that's going to be a really interesting election runoff in November. Shout out to the Spencer Pratt community on Solana. I'm quite a fan of that coin. Yeah, so that's super cool. An overnight ballot dump in the mayor race was actually positive for Pratt as he closed the gap versus Bass and extended his lead over Rahman by an extra 10,000 votes. Now over 40K up with 70% repeat reporting. Very cool. He's only 4% away from Bass. Anyone's game. Anyone's game. Yo, what is up? Trust your nuts. What is good? Always one of the best usernames I've ever encountered on any show or any chain. Never leave that. Never leave that handle name, sir. Never. You should always be referring yourself as to Trust Your Nuts. If you change it, I will be disappointed. Do not disappoint me. But no, man. Shout out to you, OG. Known you for a while. Appreciate you, fam. All right, so we're gonna just take a quick second. Let's see where Ibu is. Yeah, BRB. Oh shit, things was muted. But I was saying, how dope is this branding? The green with like the blue background, my crazy ass afro hair, my shoot, a plant. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I think like I'm either super crazy for doing this for the next year, like I think I have a vision and a goal, or I'm just fucking crazy. I don't know. Neither here nor there. This is a lot of work, but I love it. I love being able to spread interesting stories to builders. But I do need to probably kick back on some of these projects that are low caps. Like, it's just not my thing. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't like that exciting. But hey, there's a lot of good projects out there. But I do think I was starting to become a little bit too much into like low caps and stuff. And there's shout out to anyone doing those type of shows. That's great. But that's just not me, man. I do like talking about it, but you have to have some level of market cap, some community for people to care about. Plus, I don't want people to like sell on my show, none of that stuff. So whatever. All right, so Ibu's coming on soon. We'll wait for him. Oh, look who it is, the man of the hour. I think he shaved today too. Let me see. Let's see. Ibu, what is up, dude? Welcome to Late Night on Base.
Thanks, man. What's going on? Great to be here again. Nice to see you.
I know a lot has changed since you came on, not only for you professionally, but for me as well. I have this like new little setup, this new little studio. I've upgraded, you've upgraded, and I wanted to bring you back because I'm all about interesting stories, and you have one. And I think, starting Lolo, I think you started earlier this year. You had no traction. You were just a solo founder with an idea. And even when you came on my show, you had no investors. You had just a dream and a vision. I think
Still no investors,
but you're heading the right way. But then you went to I've like looked at you kind of in the background, like seeing on LinkedIn. You go to San Francisco, then you go to Miami or something, and then now you're on the other side of the world. So tell me, man, what is new with you since we last spoken?
Well, now I'm in New York again, but I was in Korea. So what's new is that Lolo's been growing a lot. I have almost 10,000 people signed up now. And I have like 3,000 pings on the map, gaining about 350, now maybe almost 400 users a day for the past 2 weeks. So it's growing a lot. In the time since we last spoke, I got into the World Incubator. Some people might know it from like WorldCoin. It's an ID solution, like digital ID. So that works with Lolo because if you want to meet up with someone, it's better to have proof of human. It's not ID in the way of like they know your name and address, but it's more like they prove you're a human, not a bot. So that's something I got into their incubator. They brought me to Korea for that. When I was there, I launched in their mini app store. That's been a nice source of growth for users. And now it's great because now I'm getting a lot of, live feedback on the product and on the app, like just through the data. And it allows me to refine and make it better while I'm building toward like the next things I'm gonna drop.
How did the process go for you to be accepted into this incubator? Like I said, it's a very interesting story because you're a solo founder. At that point, before getting into it, you had no traction, but yet you got it. So what was the how did you get into this incubation program?
I applied, like they have an application, of course. So I went through the application. I integrated World ID into Lolo before I applied. So like I had already kind of adopted their technology and you can use it as a login method. So they have a lot of users and people who have joined the World ID, World ecosystem that are basically just waiting for applications to use within the ecosystem. So it was a good match. And then when I applied, I think they liked the vision because it's just something they hadn't really seen before, like using World ID in this way. A lot of World ID or World ecosystem apps are more financial, more DeFi familiar. It could be a DEX, it could be a Launchpad, it could be a savings or a wallet platform. And those are definitely useful. But I think this kind of IRL social plus proof of human was something fresh that they hadn't seen before. So I think they liked it enough to bring me into the incubator.
And so you moved or temporarily gone to Korea. And I think that's when kind of the explosion of users on your app took off. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, so I dropped in their mid-app ecosystem, right? They have like a similar to Base App, since a lot of your viewers will know Base App. It's very similar to like mini apps where there's mini apps within that larger app ecosystem. So you can drop in there, and then I did like a very lightweight activation with another guy who was in the program, and he has like kind of like a daily questing type thing. So that was like got me an initial jump, but ever since that was like 2, maybe almost 3 weeks ago, and ever since then, like I've just continued to get more and more users daily. There's no incentives or no nothing like driving. There's nothing like asking these users to join. They just join on their own, and you know, like I said before, it's just so valuable. So what I've been working on is using that data to refine the onboarding, get more people to add profile pictures, get more people to turn on notifications, get more people to ping on the map. And yeah, I mean, the map looks way different the last time. When I was on here and I was showing you a demo, like product looks way different, but the map looks way different and so much more.
Why don't you show it? Let's screen share it.
Okay.
And also, and I'm very curious to know kind of once you share it, I'm curious to know where you're seeing the most traction. And I do want to touch on because you're basically find your friends in a way. Let's just
similar.
Let's see this. Let's see. Okay, so what are we looking
at? Just give it a second to load because it has to load. Because there's many data points. But like, so here in the US, first of all, you can see different states are starting to fill up. New York, so all these places that are the darker it is, that means like the more dense it is, right? And then you can just click on it to see the people who have pinged in that area. So in New York, there's a guy, but I think there's some people on ghost mode as well. That's why it's showing a bit more dense. Then here, like you zoom in, you can go into the city level, people in Brooklyn, Manhattan, even like specific neighborhoods over here. And then like, you know, across the US, we have heads in Connecticut, North Carolina, Virginia, Alabama, Florida, Texas, Nebraska, Chicago, Wisconsin, Michigan, right? Like California, Nevada. It's just like filling up in the US, which is great. But then even like outside the US is where a lot of users are coming. Like here in Mexico and Latin America, it's growing very rapidly. So there's like tons of users that have joined from Mexico. Those blank PFPs are like if they haven't added a PFP. So we can see here like all these countries, Colombia, it's pretty hot, Bogota, Ecuador, Peru, right? Like hotspots in different cities. Just like tapping on Lima will probably pull up like a ton of people here. There's obviously more than 20 people, but I only show 20 at a time because it's just overwhelming. Down here in Buenos Aires, over here in Sao Paulo, it's just like super dense. And then you can go over here to Europe. There's a lot of people, Spain, Portugal, France, UK, starting to get into like Netherlands and Germany. You know, it's really filling up, man. Like it's actually crazy to see a lot, actually way more pings in India now than like 2 days ago when I was checking it. Thailand is hot. There's pings all over Thailand, Bangkok, Malaysia, you know, Jakarta, Philippines. Yeah, it's pretty lit out here, man. Even in like Taipei, Taiwan, some people, Korea, Japan, like it's really growing a lot, just completely organically.
And basically, this project is literally you and your AI agent. You don't. This is like a solo build, or did you bring anyone on so far?
Still me.
Damn,
Solo.
that is what's up, dude. This is literally the life of a solo entrepreneur who's. It's really nice to see, man, how like so far you've gone, because this is the kind of success stories I want to see and I want to showcase on my channel.
Thank you, bro.
So let me ask you this then. Why?
Someone messaged me.
What is the, I guess, core pitch that you have that you send for people to sign up? Why are these people signing up? What do they gain from being on this app? Is it just they can locate other people in crypto, other holders of a certain project? Like, why do people sign up for Lolo?
Yeah, so right now, like it's something that allows you to find other people who are around you that might be into the same things as you. So that could be a crypto project or something different. Like here, I don't know if I zoom into this area and then I can find people through this network tab and then filter in different ways. So I can filter for all these different groups that I'm a part of, or even my crypto holdings, or even my people from X. Like I added a feature recently which lets you link your ex, and then you can basically use it in time. Cool coordination features that, like, once people are in the platform and then they find friends or they get their friends online as well, and now it's like people that they meet, they add on Lolo and it becomes a normal thing. And then when that person is in the same area as you, it'll be like super easy and fun to connect with them on Lolo and make a plan through Lolo. So I'm actually going to build something that's like agentic planning. So it'll be like, if I know you live in LA, so if I go to LA and then we have like another friend there as well, and I know that I see that you're there on Lolo, I just ping there and the other friends there too. Then I text just to like a chat, like, I want to get drinks with Bill and Jessica or whatever, like tonight at 8, and it'll just use an agent to plan, coordinate a place in the middle for us. We can then like get into a group chat, adjust the agent, and then like make the plans agentically. So I think that would be something like pretty cool and fresh, and like, yeah, just make it easier for people to get together. That's the whole point, That's the whole point.
Interesting. And by the way, shout out to the 1,800 plus people tuning in live late night
Thank you guys.
Ibu, founder of Lolo. This episode again and for the whole month of June is presented by Send, peer-to-peer transfers all across the world with privacy features built in. Send, baby, send. Also, shout out to the AVAX community once again. I really do appreciate each and every one of you over at the arena. Such a solid community, and I love talking to the AVAX community and expect much more builders to come on my show from AVAX. All right, so let me then ask you the elephant in the room, because
I gotta get the AVAX community on here, by the way. Like,
brother, AVAX community is legit.
I know. Like, heavy. Like, I can probably add in, like, when you add a wallet, I can add a AVAX very easily, and then like AVAX holders and AVAX NFT holders can get on.
I'm a fan of them. They have
It's actually
they basically remind me of like early stage base in a way. They're now shifting towards more higher end institutions, but they have core rabid fan base that just wants to succeed. So I think
100%.
AVAX community, check out Lolo. Okay, well, actually, before I get into a deeper question, last we spoke, you were not in the iOS store. I know now you're through World. You had the interest. Are you at the iOS store now, or how do people download this?
I just submitted for it like 2 days ago. No, actually, maybe it was yesterday. So it should take, maybe, I'm hoping in like a week or two. Depends how much like iteration and refinement I need to do based on their feedback, but should be coming to iOS very soon. Right now, you can go to lolo.consort.tech, and that's how you can get on it right away. So you can join it through browser to web app right now.
That's pretty crazy, actually. So you have all these users who aren't even using an app that are still signed up, because there's a hurdle when it comes to browsers just in general.
For sure.
I would think you probably agree that once it's in the iOS store, the number of users on your app should probably explode, correct?
It becomes way more comfortable and familiar for people to get on board. So it's impossible for the number to go down, if I drop it on iOS. Like, it will grow. And then what I'm going to focus on is, onboarding like specific niches and communities, and going hard, like even external to the crypto and tech and crypto Twitter spheres. Like, those are still people that I'm very comfortable with, I'm familiar with. So I want to get all that community on board. But there's a wide world of people that can also potentially be really into Lolo. So like, I'm keen to like get on iOS, which is going to be a huge unlock for the amount of markets that might be able to jump on like easily.
How do you plan on monetizing this platform? You there, Ibu? Ibu, can you hear me? Oh, I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I was gonna say, so how do you plan on monetizing this thing?
So there's like a few ways. One is like standard kind of like B2C premium features, and like there could be some higher levels of discoverability, higher levels of detail, more capabilities with some freemium type model, which I guess is fine, and like it could definitely work. but I'm also interested in kind of maybe some other ways as well, especially in the B2C realm. Like subscription is tried and true, but I'm also interested in like the kind of like adopting somewhat of an API method for a consumer app. Like, you know how with APIs you pay, like when you load up on credits, right? You load up on Anthropic or X credits or XAI or whatever. And I think that's like, if there's enough on-demand features in Lolo that people would want to use just like when they need it, that could be another way to monetize as well. Yeah, but then also when it comes to the coordination features, I think I can go to businesses and event organizers and be like, yo, if you want your if people are going to be making plans with agents and they're going to be using agents to coordinate, you would want your event to be prioritized in that if it's applicable to that person, right? So, or that group of people. So that's another way, or not even an event, a restaurant, a bar, a yoga class, or like a gym or something. Like there's all types of different ways to kind of allow businesses to tap in as well. So I'm thinking about it on a couple different fronts, B2B and B2C.
Have you started? At what point do you feel like your product's good enough? Because again, I'm very fascinated by the consumer app space. At what point does the discussion now become like, hey, I want to seek VC funding? What, I guess, is the path to getting the first conversations? Is it more users, or how are you looking at it? I want more active users. I want to achieve something. Like, when do you plan to approach the venture capital of the world?
I'm starting now. I'm initializing my outreach now. Now that I have users coming in on a regular basis, I'm getting closer to a more widespread release. Clearly, there is value for users. They do need a return. I mean, the numbers important for investors are typically like raw numbers. How many users do you have? And then how much retention do you have? And the getting new users is like definitely easier than getting retention. I'm working on retention now, and I get some great data like from the users that are coming in all the time. So just of like how they use it and do they return, and it gives me a lot of things to work with and build to make it better. So like the current build on World Mini App Store is super helpful because it gives me a lot of info on once I go to iOS and I'm marketing to a lot of different types of groups and audiences. Ideally, the onboarding and the conversion will be more on point, right? And like more perfected. Obviously, it's never going to be perfected. It's probably super far from being perfected right now, but it'll be better than if I just raw dogged it and went straight to iOS right away and wasted money on like marketing that wasn't optimized. The product wasn't optimized, right? So there's also like, once I add some of those coordination features, I think it's going to be way more interesting and like genuinely unique in the space of IRL. Like the IRL industry and that whole vertical is like starting to have a huge wave because it's kind of like the bounce back from COVID, and people in general across society are a little just more tired of online experiences, and they want to like go out and about. And I see it here in New York. I saw it in Seoul. I saw it in Tokyo. I saw it in San Francisco, like all these, Miami too, like these major cities I've been to this year. It's like everything seems really hot and people want to like go out and they want to be outside at restaurants and stuff. Like restaurants in New York are literally packed, bro. Like out the whole restaurant and on the street, like outdoor tables is like packed, way more than I've maybe ever seen it. So people want to go outside, and I think like Lolo's very well positioned to be on that cusp and bring something new to the table, which is like more intelligent and like curated, but also smart and like easy ways to coordinate with friends.
Yeah, man. I like it. Like I said, I told you on the first show, in real life experiences are only going to get more and more popular, especially in the AI agent world where jobs are going to be replaced and people are going to feel a lot more isolated. So they need to feel the sense of connection with people. So I see, and I said it before, and I see that's a thesis that I would triple down on. And I just want to say, man, like I said, from the outside, you are crushing it. I really enjoy this because Now I want to get you on eventually when you get your investors, because this is like a journey from like literally you were just a solo dude with an idea and a laptop. And then now your progression, because success doesn't just go overnight like this. It's like ups and downs. And I guarantee you, before we end, let me ask you this. And this is kind of a maybe a personal question, but
Yeah.
were there ever times where you doubted yourself?
I mean, it's not easy every day. Like it's like some days you feel amazing, like something breakthrough happened, and or you feel like super positive about the idea you had about how to make the product better, do some marketing thing, and you're like, okay, now I'm really hyped. And then like some days you're like, you don't always feel your best every day, but I would say like not in like a overconfident way, but I never really doubted myself because I felt like, okay, this is still like mad early stage. Like there's so many ways to make it succeed. Like just like you can make it fail in a million ways. Like at this stage with an early stage project, like you have a ton of ways to make it succeed as well. Like people they create companies and you can do it. So I just remind myself of that. Like, even though it seems hard, just keep going. Like you'll crack something eventually. Like,
But I agree, and I think though that mentality only works though if you actually are like pushing this as your only mission. Is it safe to assume that Lolo is like your thing that you're just blinders on?
yeah, I'm not working on anything else.
And that's the only way to do it, man. That's the same exact way of like manifestation, and you can speak into existence whatever you're building, but you have to actually put in the work. For you, it's Lolo. For me, it's Late Night on Base, the media channel, which is eventually going to be on multiple chains, and it's going to be the #1 late night show all across the industry. And that's why
Exactly.
both of us are going to succeed. Ibu, my friend, there were 2,900 people. Actually, the AVAX community over at the arena is just like, bring him into the AVAX community. So you do have some people who are interested in learning about you. So
yo, wait, then let me say one thing. So y'all, I need you to go to Vo's comments on X and just spam her saying we want Lolo on AVAX. Tag me. The X is at Lolo, LOLO _IRL. So if y'all go to Vo's posts and you say that, I'm gonna engage with all of y'all. So like let's peer pressure her to helping me get on AVAX.
I'm messaging them right now. Engage in those.
You know Vo, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know of her. Like,
you know of her, right? You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah, she's like the Jesse Pollock of that chain. So
yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually I like, she follows me now. I follow her, but I think eventually I'll get her on the show as well, or Vo on the show. And yeah, I look forward to getting to know the entire AVAX community. Like I said, I think it's a hidden gem that's ready to pop. But listen, Ibu, we got to let you go, my friend. But
Thanks,
we have over 3,000 people tuning in, and I appreciate you. And we'll distribute this on X and also on LinkedIn, bro, because you were active there. So we'll get it over there.
Trying. Definitely not as much as X, but yeah, thank you so much for having me, man.
Appreciate you, bro. All right. All right. That is Ibu. Great guy, great dedication. And that is the type of mentality that you have to have as founder. And I'm very interested in seeing his journey. And always remember where he appeared first, Late Night on Base with your host, Bill the Bull. All right, guys, we actually hit our numbers pretty well. Started off really slow, not going to lie. So listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, we're back at it again tomorrow. Fridays, always off, though. Only Monday through Thursday. You got to make time for yourself. Always remember that. Appreciate you all. Cheers.